Obviously disappointed tonight with this game as a whole. Our team was distracted, and as a coach, you may have nights like this. You always hope that you can find a way to get through a night like this and kind of win ugly, as they say. And but tonight we were not able to do that. Really struggled. First half was a tale of we dug a hole for ourselves. We came out flat, distracted, and as a coach, you scratch your head sometimes. You try to figure out how something like this happens, particularly with our team, because we've been playing really good basketball here of late, and that's what kind of disappointing, because you don't see this coming. Sometimes as a coach, you can see it coming. In this case, we didn't see this coming. We've been playing well, and we're at home. Guys have a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm. We've seen that also in practice, and then to come out tonight with a lackluster approach to the game, or start to the game rather, was very disappointing.
What do you think the source of that distraction was?
I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are going to weigh in on it and try to figure it out, and we'll try to do so too. We'll try to figure it out as well, and we will, but it was obvious that it wasn't the same basketball team. I'm sure that you all have seen here the last couple of weeks. Yeah, very disappointed. As disappointed as I've been since I've been coaching for 30 years, to see somebody just kind of lose themselves and in that way. And I've, as a player and as a coach, I've been in this game a long time, and it's just, regardless of how frustrated you are, there's a certain level, a certain responsibility and accountability that you have as a player and also as a team, and you just can't cross that line. And he certainly crossed that line. Well, defensively, you try to keep them dialed in defensively, because so much with defense sometimes also is directly related to your offense. And sometimes when your guys are playing better offensively, it gives them a lot more energy and enthusiasm on the defensive end. We had some great looks there early, so it wasn't like it was bad offense. We had some great looks that were not going in, and that's what particularly frustrating for Sean. As you can see, some frustration on his face, particularly when he has some open looks and shots that he's been making, and he's missing them. I mean, what you've been seeing in games, we've been seeing in practice every day as well. So as a shooter, and BJ the same way, as a shooter, when those shots aren't falling, it can get a little frustrating for them, particularly when they've been having a history of those shots falling, particularly here of late. I think Sean's shooting, I don't know, something crazy, 50-something% from three over like the last 5 games or so. So you're shooting at a high level, and then all of a sudden you're seeing those great looks not go in. It can become very frustrating. So I kept trying to get them to lose themselves in the game, lose themselves in their team. Don't worry so much about the shots not going in. Let's try to get stops defensively, see if we can get something in transition as a result of it, and stay dialed in. We just keep chipping away at it, and we'll get back in this game. And this happens in this game. This happens, and you may have a guy who may be a young player who's very promising. You may have a guy who's an upperclassman. Typically, it's not an upperclassman, but sometimes that's the case. And you have a guy in the program, and just there's some things that aren't working out, and not on the same page, and then you have to make some decisions going forward as a result of that. And every coach gets to that point. Sometimes coaches are faced with that when they take over a program, and they come into it, and there may be a guy that was their leading scorer, and all of a sudden, that guy's moved on because, or maybe it's 2 or 3 guys, and they have to make some tough decisions in terms of what's going to be best for the future. Obviously, for me, I inherited this job in the beginning of December, so you have to sometimes work around different things that might be distractions or hot spots or landmines, as you may call them, and you try to work through that. But eventually, things come to a head, and then you have to be dealt with and dealt with accordingly.